Hello everyone, my name is the Golden Girl MD and you're welcome to yet another video. So I know a lot of doctors have been considering moving from their home countries to various parts of the world for different reasons. For me, I moved to the UK because I had to join my spouse, who is also a doctor by the way, but that's not the point. I had to join my spouse, and being a doctor, I wanted to be able to work as a doctor in this country. And so today I'm going to be starting my UK relocation series, where I'm going to be sharing with you the steps to take if you want to relocate as a doctor from Ghana, specifically because I relocated from Ghana to the UK. Most of these steps will be similar no matter where you're relocating from. And so if you want to hear more, please keep watching this video. Okay, so the first thing I will say, and this is very, very, very important. The first thing I will say is that relocating from your country to another country, no matter what you do, no matter who you are, is a decision that you have to take very seriously. It's a decision that you have to make sure that you have thought about very well. If you have loved ones in your life, if you have people that you look up to, discuss this decision with them to see how you can be better poised to do this, or to even see whether this is something that is for you. Talk to people who have relocated, people who have probably relocated and are in the career that you are in. Talk to them so that you know if it's something that is for you, because relocating to another country has its own challenges. So as most of you may know, I am a medical doctor by profession. I trained in Ghana. I went to the University for Development Studies for 7 years. Yes, I went to medical school for 7 years. And then after medical school, I did my housemanship training for 2 years, which is something that we are required to do back home in Ghana. So at that time, I had just got married, and my husband is also a medical doctor, and he had the opportunity to come to the UK to do his specialization in surgery. And so it only made sense that, as his wife, I relocate to join him, because he was doing his specialization and he had to be in the UK. So that was how the journey started. Luckily for me, he had already moved here as a medical doctor, and so the process wasn't too confusing for me. However, the way he relocated here was slightly different. Maybe one day I'll bring him on to talk about the route that he used to relocate here as a medical doctor. But the process that I am going to talk about is the PLAB route, which is the process that all international medical graduates are supposed to use in order to get their registration and license to practice in the UK. Okay guys, so let's say you've decided that you want to move to the UK as a doctor. The first thing you need to do is to create a GMC account. So GMC means General Medical Council. So in Ghana, we have the Medical and Dental Council. So the GMC is the same as the Medical and Dental Council, but for the UK. And the General Medical Council here is the body that controls and regulates the activities of doctors. So they have a website where you can create an account. It's free. You just open an account, and then that is the very first thing you need to do. When you create this account, you are going to be asked to put in your details, your personal details, as well as your educational background. They just want to verify that you are really a doctor, you are really who you say you are. I will make sure that I put the link to the GMC website down below in the description box. So if you want to start this process, then you can just follow the link down below to create your account. After you've created your GMC account, the next thing you need to do is to write your English exam. So there are two different types of English exams you can write. We have the OET, which is the Occupational English Test, and then we have the IELTS or the IELTS, depending on where you're from. But this is the International English Language Testing System. And these two tests are basically tests to make sure that you are proficient enough, you are able to communicate effectively in the English language. They are exams that, in my opinion, are very easy to pass if you know what they are looking for. And so I will try and do more detailed videos about every step that I'm going to talk about today in the future. So make sure you watch out for that. I will also be doing another video in the future talking about the costs that are involved in each of these steps and the overall cost involved in relocating to the UK. So please watch out for that as well. So yes, you've written your IELTS or your OET and you have passed. The next thing you need to do is you need to upload that result onto the GMC account that you have created, right? So you need to upload your exam result on the GMC website. They are going to verify this to make sure that you are not uploading someone else's result, and they are going to make sure that you got the minimum score required to be able to proceed. So once you have uploaded your results, the GMC has accepted it, then they will allow you to book your PLAB 1 exam. What is the PLAB 1 exam? So the PLAB exams in general are the exams that the UK organizes for international medical graduates to test them, to make sure that they know their stuff. They want to make sure that you learned the right things in medical school and you'll be able to practice at the level of doctors who have been trained here in the UK. So we have the PLAB 1 and the PLAB 2. So the PLAB 1 exam is the next exam that you have to take. Now, they will invite you to book your place or to book your slot. Now, let me just say that PLAB 1 slots are very scarce. PLAB 1 slots are hot cake. Let me just tell you that. Let me just tell you that today. So if you are really, really, really serious about doing this, you have to decide fast and you just have to be smart about it, because the slots that are released for PLAB 1 are not so many, especially in other countries apart from the UK. So PLAB 1 is taken in many countries. It's taken in Ghana, it's taken in Nigeria, it's taken in Saudi Arabia, it's taken in India, it's taken in the UK, it's taken in so many countries. Make sure that you get a slot and you are able to take it in the nearest country to you. If you are able to take it in your home country, that is a big plus for you. So the PLAB 1 exam is mainly MCQs, multiple choice questions, where you get to choose what the single best answer is. So you may have a scenario, a patient presenting with symptoms, and you are being asked what the most likely diagnosis is. Again, the PLAB 1 exams can be a bit challenging because for most of us, where we are from, there are certain things that we are not really exposed to, like geriatrics, like certain aspects of psychology, ethics. So you will encounter a lot of new things, but once you have the adequate material and you dedicate time to it, I believe that you can easily pass. The next step is to write your PLAB 2. So by the grace of God, you have passed your PLAB 1 exam. Your results will be uploaded on the GMC website and you see that, yay, you've passed. The next thing is that the GMC will now allow you to book your PLAB 2. So you see how important it is to create the GMC account. You literally cannot do anything without creating the GMC account, and they have systems in place to make sure that if you don't pass your test, you can't book the next test. So PLAB 2 is just a test to make sure that you have the practical skills to be able to practice in the UK. Back home where I trained, we did a lot of OSCEs during our exams. So OSCE system is where you have a patient, a simulated patient, so an actor who is acting as a patient who is giving you symptoms, and you will be in a room with an examiner. You interact with only your patient, you'd come up with a diagnosis, you discuss the plan and the management with your patient. Okay, you may also have setting scenarios where you have to write prescription, you have to write medications, you may have to have a phone call with the patient presenting with symptoms, you may have to talk to a patient relative, you may have to break bad news. It covers a wide variety of things and scenarios that you encounter in real life as a medical doctor. Again, the PLAB 2 can be quite challenging because some of the things that you encounter are not things that most of us have been exposed to back home. But again, if you dedicate your time and your effort and you get the right materials, and of course, the icing on the cake is to practice, it's something that you can easily pass. Great, so you're taking your PLAB 2 exam. What is the next thing? So you receive your results on the GMC website, and then the GMC is going to invite you to now apply for your license. Yes, so the PLAB 2 is like the last exam you have to take, and then you need to apply for your license. So applying for your license means that you need to submit certain documents. You'll be told what documents you need to submit, but roughly the ones that I submitted included a certificate of completion of house job, just to tell them that yes, I have done 2 years post-medical school. I also submitted my medical school certificate. You also need to input references. They need to know your educational history and background. You also need a certificate of good standing from your medical council to show that you don't have any queries or enquiries about you, to show that you were a good doctor. There was no complaints made about you during your time. Once you've submitted all the documents they need you to submit, you just need to wait. Sometimes they may send you emails asking for this document and for that document. For example, in my case, I had a prolonged last rotation. My pediatric rotation was prolonged, and they needed to know why. So I had to get a letter from my HOD at the time telling them that yes, I was on maternity leave, and so that is why I had to go on maternity leave and come back and finish my rotation. So once they had that letter, they just proceeded to give me my license. Alright, so now you have your GMC license to practice, but let's say you are still in Ghana. Okay, in my case, I was already in the UK before I got my license because I was here on my husband's visa, but that's a story for another day. But let's say you are in Ghana, or you are in Nigeria, or you are in India, you are in your home country, you've got your GMC registration, your GMC license. How do you actually now get into the UK to work as a medical doctor? So the next thing you need to do is to apply for jobs. Now, if you are relocating to the UK mainly as a doctor and you are the main applicant, you need a job, or you need a hospital or a trust that will sponsor you. So that will hire you and that will sponsor you. Let me explain. A hospital may be willing to hire you, but they may not be willing to sponsor you. So they may be willing to give you a job, but they may not be willing to give you a certificate of sponsorship. A certificate of sponsorship is a document that you will use to apply for a visa. It tells the immigration service that yes, this person is coming into the country to work for us, and so give the person a worker's visa. That's the simplest way to explain it. So you apply for jobs. There are different websites you can apply. There's track.jobs, there's NHS jobs, There are so many. There's Indeed. There's so many websites that you can apply for jobs. You apply for jobs, and then once you get a company or a hospital that is willing to employ you and to sponsor you, that is basically it. They will send you your certificate of sponsorship. That is after they have done their own checks, their own interviews, whatever processes they need to do. Most of them will do interviews. Most of them will do online interviews because they know that most of these applicants are not in the UK. So once you have passed your interview, they have done their checks and they're happy with you, they're going to give you a certificate of sponsorship. So this is a document that you will use to apply for your visa. And once you have your certificate of sponsorship, there is almost no reason why your visa will be denied. So guys, this was just a brief summary of the steps that you need to go through to come to the UK. I get a lot of messages. My friends and colleagues ask me, what are the processes to go through? What do I do? And that's why I've started this series. Watch out for more. I'm going to be going into more detail about the various steps that I've mentioned today. I'm going to be talking about the costs involved, which is a big thing for a lot of you. I know a lot of you are considering this, but you are thinking about the money involved. So I'm going to be going into all those things in future videos. So please don't go anywhere. Stick and stay. And thank you for being with me all this while. I want to say a special thank you to all the 199 subscribers who have joined me here. I appreciate you so much. I love you so much. And if today's your first time of seeing my nice face and you haven't subscribed, maybe you think you've subscribed, but check again. Maybe you haven't. So please hit the subscribe button, and I will bring you more videos, more exciting videos on Mondays and on Fridays in the future. Have a wonderful day, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.